Hello and welcome to StarMade. This is the Kestrel. I made a video of the work in progress like a couple days ago, and I've now finished it. It's actually completely finished, so you can see the hull has been finished on the bottom, and the interior systems are actually all done. And because it's supposed to be a replica, it has kind of shitty weapons, to be honest. And but I also wanted to make it so that it's upgradable like the thing in the game. In fact, this Plex store here is kind of a temporary place where you would later put in a weapon. So if you wanted to upgrade it with another weapon, you'd put it in there and try and design it like the FTL style. Gravity units, kind of a strange place, but it's kind of the best. Power upgrade slot. So basically, if you remove this monitor, there's a little metal grill above it. And if you put a power reactor there, it upgrades the power. And I think someone's just ran into me because they wanted to screw up me doing this video. Yeah, because I have some friends on the server right now. Right now, just Nisteth and Xylene. But, you know, later on maybe more. I don't know. Depends on if the other guy shows up. And we have another power upgrade slot. Here you can see we have the med bay. We have medical upgrade slots, which basically just are saying replace it with these. And then we have another... Oh yeah, this is the weapon access, so you can get in here. And these are two more access. Whoops, crap. Accidentally got out of the core there. These are two more accesses for power upgrades, because there's a lot of power upgrades in the game, so I made a lot of spots for you to do that. Try to ignore the fact that everything on the outside is spinning. We have the shielding room, so you have various controls and whatnot for shields, and another weapon access. We have the door control, which has two buttons, open internal doors, which opens all internal doors unless it's broken again. I had some troubles there where it randomly deselected some doors, which was kind of annoying. It doesn't open any of these like access doors that are like not part of the actual game's design. It just opens other doors. And we have the airlock doors, which if you come out here, you can see the airlocks. And let me go back in there and close the doors. Okay. And then, oh yes, on the opposite side, we have the scanners or sensors. And so, you know, it actually is a scanner system. And you can replace these with additional antenna and connect them so that you have a stronger scanner. We have the port 4 weapon access and the starboard 4 weapon access. So you can get out here to access these two weapons. That's a Nova class that's been Borgified by Xylene, and he's continually screwing with me. Oh! He sent me through a warp gate. Nice, nice. Alright, so this room doesn't have anything. If you had the actual game, I believe this is where mind control would be installed, but we don't have an equivalent system. But I put these in as kind of a representation of where you'd put in the modules and whatnot if you had a system installed. And then if you go in here, this is actually the cockpit. I put in a little chair, and the cockpit represents your ability to pilot, and then there's two more spots for further upgrades. And you see right here, it says, if a helm upgrade is purchased, replace one of these with a camera. The crew member in the ship core is only allowed to fly the ship while cameras exist in here. So basically, I intended this to kind of be, you know, like FTL within StarMade. So like you'd follow a set standard of rules of what you can and can't do. This is another access for the power system. And you'd have multiple crews on different ships, and it would be awesome and all. Of course, you'd have to get a bunch of people together for this to work, and that's not necessarily going to happen. Here's a faction module right next to the core. The core is built into the wall here. You're never really supposed to fire at the core, even though in StarMade that's how you kill ships, because this is designed for more roleplay type fights. Anyhow, this room would be cloaking if you had cloaking installed. But at the beginning of the game, you don't have cloaking, so I don't have cloaking. And then, of course, we have the airlock, which is on the opposite side of where I started, so, you know, two airlocks. We have the weapon room. Now, the weapon room is a little bit strange from how I originally designed it. I originally designed it so that... excuse me. Yes, there's another power upgrades, and there's actually one in the floor right here. I originally designed it so that the weapons computers went in these slots on the walls, but the thing is the weapons computers don't fire from the camera's perspective, because there's actually little cameras in the back of each of these weapons that you're supposed to use to fire weapons from. But the game ignores where the cameras are facing and fires based on the physical position of the weapons computer, which in my opinion is really dumb and needs to be fixed, because I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be too hard to fix that. Then again, you never know. Never say something's not too hard. Anyhow, you have space here to put in secondary weapons and a tertiary effect system, although where you're going to put the modules, I don't really have any spare space for that, although I suppose you could carve a hole in the floor, or, you know, put them in here somewhere, or put them on the physical weapon itself wherever it is on the outside. And we have the aft weapons. If you had them installed, you'd place their displays here. Of course, you'd have to place them facing forward, so you'd see the back of things here. You don't have to place the secondary systems forward because they don't actually matter when you're flying. Yeah, he's taking damage constantly, and it's really... Oh, they're fighting. Okay. Yeah, he was previously taking damage constantly, and it was very strange, and yeah. So anyhow, going around here, oh yes, this is where a battery backup system would go, and I say right here, if getting the battery upgrade, replace stylized hole, aka the brown hole bits, with power capacitors. So it's not the best design, but it's what I could come out with. Here's another power upgrade. On the other side, we have the same sort of thing, except it's not a battery backup. This room, I forget what this room would be, but whatever it is, there's not really space in here, and there's not really a StarMade equivalent. We have a engine access, though, and this is how you get down here for the engine upgrades. And there's, you know, one on each side, and there's various spots in here with little instructions on how to do the engine upgrades. And then we have another little side room. Oh yes, there's the orange stripe that kind of follows on from the outside. I decided it looked nicer to have the stripe kind of follow inside with a one block stripe rather than just leaving it on the outside. And see, it continues in here. This is the engine room, which is also sort of the power room and reactor. And you see we have a little monitor saying how much power we have. That reminds me, I should put in a... oh yes, and there's power upgrades. And then you have a core access, including a button that turns off all the lights in the ship, except for one. It doesn't turn off the hanging light in the medbay. That's the only light it does not. And then these are ice crystals in there. I kind of wanted to make a core design look. Oh yes, there's the jump drive computer. It's right in the core. I kind of wanted a core design in here, so I wanted it to look kind of like, ooh, you know. And so that's that. There's an access here for more power upgrades. There's 3 more down here, where you're supposed to replace metal grills with power systems. There's a little chair there. That's not really supposed to be a chair so much as that's like where something is in here. I'm not really sure. We have another little like display thing, and you know, I'm thinking, does it really need to be there? I think I might replace it. I'm not sure, you know? Like, the problem is that it's shown on this side. Yeah, I'm gonna replace it, because the thing is, it was shown on that side, and while it looked cool for in here, it didn't look right being in the airlock, you know? So, that's what's going on there. Are they still fighting? Oh, I would take that as a, yes, they're still fighting. What was the other thing I mentioned I needed to fix? And I'm getting messages, and I forgot to turn off the sound on that. I am sorry. Alright, so there was one thing while I was making this that I just remembered what it was, and it was the shield room. And the shield room doesn't actually have a display module showing where the shields are at, like the capacity and whatnot. Like, you know how in the engine room we have this power thing up here saying that we have this much out of this much and reactor access, and I want a similar type thing for the shields room, so that's the airlock. I'm going to put it right here actually. And there we go. Place it like that. And now we want to say shields. And then we can say shield cap. Now I don't remember how I set it up on the other one, so I'm actually going to go take a quick look at that. Because I think I put the max above and then the current underneath. Yes, I did. The max above, current underneath. So I'm actually going to say max, and then change this to shield cap. Oops, not like that. And then change this one down here to current and say just shield. And unfortunately, these are the only two, the shield variables and the power variables are the only two variables that you can actually currently use in these. which is a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully in the future we have some more, so we can have more monitors saying more things, because I think that would be really cool. But for now, this is what we have to deal with. And now I'm going to try and kind of put these centered. I'm not sure if that's too far. Let's see. Oh, that's actually not far enough. So we need to 1, 2, 3. Oh, Nisteth has been killed. And there we go. We have a shield monitor now. So I think the design is done. I think this is good. And that's that. So if you enjoy FTL and you enjoy StarMade and you want a replica of FTL's Kestrel in StarMade, here you go. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in space. Oh yes, and I completely forgot to mention the shield upgrade maintenance access that I accidentally didn't actually... Oh, the server isn't answering. Wonderful. They've broken something. There's a whole ton of... There's 6, specifically, places in here where you can add more shielding in, and so it's supposed to be, you know, the shield upgrades. And yeah, so this design was created based off of purely some fan art and some models that people made, and the top-down images from the game. I have since seen, after completing it, I have since seen the actual, official model, because they did a trailer for Captain's Edition where they showed this ship in a profile view to where you could see what it actually looked like, and it actually has a big old bulky bit underneath here on the front, and this part isn't as bulky, I think, and then these are kind of a triangular shape. So, you know, this ship is not accurate really, but considering what I had to go on, it's pretty freaking accurate, and I love it nonetheless. So in any case, I hope you enjoy. Oh, I thought he blew up that for a moment, but it's just that.